The emergency beacon pierced through Earth's atmospheric defenses like a blade through silk, its alien frequency causing every military installation across the planet to light up with warning signals. Colonel Marcus Kane stood in the command center, watching the holographic display as technicians worked frantically to decode the message. "Sir, we've got translation," reported Lieutenant Emily Thompson, her fingers dancing across the console. "It's a distress call from the Elvarian Empire. Their queen's personal vessel is under attack by hostile forces near the Proxima system." Kane studied the data streaming across his screen. The Elvarians had been Earth's first contact with an advanced alien civilization 3 years ago. Their elegant, pointed-eared appearance had reminded humanity of ancient folklore, earning them the nickname Space Elves among the troops. More importantly, they had become valuable allies in the ongoing struggle against the aggressive void, hunters that plagued this sector of the galaxy. "What's their situation?" Kane asked, his weathered face showing concern. "Multiple Void Hunter battle cruisers have them surrounded," Thompson continued. "Queen Lysandra's ship is heavily damaged. They're requesting immediate assistance." Kane turned to his communications officer. "Get me Admiral Rebecca Foster at Luna Base. Tell her we need our best people for this one." Within hours, Earth's most elite defenders had assembled at the orbital launch platform. Kane surveyed the team he had handpicked for this mission. Captain Jessica Martinez, the best pilot in the solar fleet, stood beside her customized fighter craft. Major Lisa Chen commanded the most experienced Marine unit in human space. Dr. Amanda Wright, Earth's leading xenobiologist and combat medic, checked her equipment one final time. "Listen up," Kane addressed the group. "The Elvarians saved our colonies at Kepler 442 last year. Now they need our help. Intelligence suggests the Void Hunters have deployed their new adaptive shields, which means conventional weapons won't be as effective." Martinez stepped forward, her dark eyes focused. "What's the plan, Colonel?" "We use what makes us human," Kane replied. "Unpredictability, adaptation, and the willingness to take risks that others won't. The Elvarians are logical, methodical fighters. The Void Hunters expect that. They won't expect us." The journey to Proxima took 18 hours at maximum jump speed. As they dropped out of hyperspace, the sight before them made even the veteran soldiers pause. Queen Lysandra's royal vessel, a graceful ship that resembled a silver leaf, hung, dead in space, surrounded by 4 massive Void Hunter cruisers. The enemy ships were dark, angular things that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. "My God," whispered Dr. Wright. "How is that ship still intact?" Kane studied the tactical display. Elvarian engineering. Their hulls are grown, not built. Organic materials that adapt to damage. A transmission crackled through their communication system. The voice was melodic, with the characteristic accent of the Elvarian nobility. "Human vessels, this is Commander, Avalyn of the Royal Guard. Our queen lives, but we cannot hold much longer. Our weapons cannot penetrate their new defenses." Martinez was already powering up her fighter. "Colonel, request permission to engage." "Granted. Martinez, you're our opening act. Chen, prepare for boarding action. Wright, you're with me. We're going to get aboard that royal ship and extract the queen." Martinez's fighter streaked toward the enemy formation, her ship weaving through space in patterns no computer could predict. The Void Hunters turned their massive guns toward her, but she was already somewhere else, her human intuition allowing her to anticipate their targeting systems. "This is Martinez. Their adaptive shields are cycling every 12 seconds. I'm marking the frequency for you now." Chen's Marines launched from their assault craft in powered armor, using the chaos of Martinez's attack run to close with the nearest Void Hunter cruiser. While the enemy focused on the unpredictable fighter, Chen's team carved through their hull with plasma cutters and began their own boarding action. Kane and Wright made it to the Elvarian vessel as Chen's diversion allowed them to slip past the enemy sensors. They docked with the royal ship and found themselves in corridors filled with wounded Elvarian crew members. The aliens' pale, elegant features were marked with exhaustion and pain. Commander Avalyn met them at the airlock. Her silver hair was singed, and her ceremonial armor bore scorch marks, but her violet eyes still held determination. "Colonel, Kane, the Queen is in the royal chambers. She refuses to abandon her people." Wright immediately began treating wounded Elvarians while Kane followed Avalyn through the ship's organic corridors. They found Queen Lysandra in what appeared to be a garden within the ship itself, tending to injured crew members despite her own obvious wounds. The Queen was tall, even for an Elvarian, with an otherworldly beauty that spoke of centuries of noble breeding. But her hands were dirty with the work of caring for her people, and her royal robes were torn from helping with repairs. "Your Majesty," Kane said, offering a brief bow, "we're here to get you out." Queen Lysandra looked up with ancient eyes that held wisdom beyond her apparent youth. "Colonel Kane, I will not leave my crew to die while I flee to safety." "Then we don't leave anyone behind," Kane replied. "That's how humans do things." Over the next hour, Wright coordinated the medical evacuation, while Kane worked with Avalyn to restore the ship's weapon systems. Martinez continued her deadly dance around the Void Hunter ships, her unpredictable flying patterns keeping them off balance. Chen's Marines had taken control of one enemy cruiser and were turning its guns on the others. The breakthrough came when Wright made an observation that only a human doctor would think to make. "Colonel, the Elvarian ship's hull isn't just organic, it's alive. If we can stimulate its immune response, it might be able to adapt to counter the Void Hunter weapons." Working together, Wright and the Elvarian medical staff triggered the ship's biological defenses. The hull began to shift and change, developing new structures that could redirect and absorb the enemy fire. Combined with Chen's captured cruiser and Martinez's relentless attacks, the tide of battle turned. The remaining Void Hunter ships retreated into hyperspace, unwilling to face an enemy that refused to follow their expectations. As the rescued fleet made its way back to Elvarian space, Queen Lysandra found Kane on the observation deck of her restored ship. "Your people fight with such passion, such chaos. It is unlike anything we have seen." Kane smiled, watching the stars wheel past. "We call it being human, Your Majesty. Sometimes the best strategy is to throw out the strategy and trust your people to do what they do best." The Queen nodded thoughtfully. "Perhaps that is why the Void Hunters fear you so much. They cannot predict what they do not understand." "And they'll never understand us," Kane replied, "because we don't always understand ourselves. That's what makes us dangerous." The alliance between Earth and the Elvarian Empire grew stronger. That day, forged not just in shared victory, but in the recognition that sometimes the most powerful weapon is the willingness to be unpredictably, chaotically, and completely human.